Hey y'all. It is Sabbath, February 2nd. Is it? Oh, I haven't turned my calendar yet. And I made that big adventure into town. I didn't share a lot of what was going on in town, but I had such a nice time. The people were friendly. I went to the post office because the mail and more does not, they're not able to mail packages. And then I went to Mail & More and picked up my big Amazon order, which was something I haven't had in a very long time, and I'm so excited. Lemon juice, organic lemon juice. And then I went to Family Dollar and I needed some more warm pants to go under my pants. And I'm so glad I have them today because it is very cloudy, stormy, and the wind is just howling. So it's about 58 degrees in here, and I thought I would make some bread and I would share that with y'all. So stay tuned. So the first thing I do is I light the stove, and that can be tricky to do. So got my trusty lighter. And oh my goodness, let's see, get way down in here, turn the gas on, and turn the gas on some more. Oops, gotta hold it for a while, make sure it's gonna stay lit to heat there's something down in there they say you gotta heat. There we go. And what I usually do is leave the door open, which you can see here. And it's starting to heat. So how do I check the temperature of my oven? I've got a little thermometer in there. I'll pull it out before it's hot, see? And so far, I've only managed to get the oven up to 350. So I'm going to pull out my recipe, which I haven't used in many years. I used to make this bread and sell it. And I'm just going to make it and eat it. So I'll be right back. So I have two recipe books. One I got as a young wife way back in the day. And it is this one, 1981 edition. I don't know if it's going to show up right or backwards. But anyway, it's Betty Crocker's cookbook. And I know that the pancakes are on page 197. And I don't know if you can see how it's very worn. It was very worn. However, the recipe I'm wanting is not in this book. The recipe I want is in this book. My little letter's coming off. Let's see if I can get it stuck back on there. And I've had this for just about as many years. These are handwritten recipes I got from other people over time. I used to print a bunch of them out. Here's my Cajun cornbread, my very own. Molasses cookies, peanut butter fudge, and let's see. And here's my bread recipe. Says it's daily bread. 2 ingredients, no knead, which is kind of my favorite kind. You can dress it up. I'm making it plain today. I used to make black olive and Parmesan and sun-dried tomato and basil. Very good to have with chili or stews or spaghetti. So today I'm just making a plain batch because I'm lazy. So let me get all those 2 ingredients and I'll show you. Hold on. Okay, so apparently I can't. Last time I used this recipe, I didn't need glasses to read it. So, The main ingredient is self-rising flour. This is the only self-rising flour I could find at my local Walmart. So it's their brand. Not the best choice. If you can get better self-rising flour, you go for it. Now, the other ingredient is a cheap beer. And I didn't even know they still made Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's a 12-ounce beer and 2 2/3 cup of flour coming out. 2 2/3 cup of flour. Bread pan will not fit in my oven. And it turns out my recipe, I got to go for 375. So hopefully that'll work. And since I don't have a bread pan, I'm going to make a round loaf. So I hope this works. I've never done this before. So, let me pull out measuring cups because it's going to be so complicated. Hold on. Okay. First thing you do, for those of you who have a full set of measuring cups, oh, maybe that's a 2/3. I've got one over here in a bowl, but we'll back up to that. Okay. I'm going to grease my pan with butter, because that's what I like to use. And for those of you questioning about the alcohol factor in the beer, don't, because the alcohol has no effect. When I used to sell it, people were like, beer bread? I'll get drunk. That's horrible. I was, no, you're not going to get drunk on this bread. If you can get drunk on one beer. But anyway, that's... It all bakes out, the alcohol does. Let's see if this is a... Here, let me pause a minute. Yay! Yay! Sorry. I can't get my... I guess I could get my camera higher. Anyway, I found the 1/3. It was in my my empty oatmeal jug. So, okay. So I adjusted that. That's a little better. Whew. I'm starting to sweat. With the oven heating up. And the oven actually has to go to 375, so I'm hoping that'll work too. But the recipe is I'm just putting them in my little mixing bowl here. 1 and 2, and then 2/3, and that's cups, of self-rising flour. Not the most nutritious part of the recipe. The most nutritious part of the recipe is actually the beer. Lots of good B vitamins and whatnot. So you want to flour your pan. Grease and flour lightly. That was me banging the excess into the trash. Okay, get that out of my way. My pan's over here. The oven's almost up to 350. So then, oh look, flour on me. Proving I really did cook. Oh, I had a panic moment. I didn't think it. And then, watch this. You pour the beer into the flour. The whole thing. And then, I take a rubber spatula. You just stir it around. Oh, you know, I'm a higher altitude since I did this last. I think that affects the baking time, not necessarily the recipe. Oh, I bet it says on the recipe. So it's really kind of it ends up being a wet, gooey. That's why you want to use that rubber spatula. It's kind of a very wet batter. sticky. So this will help me get all them good things out of there. And oh my goodness. First, you should know I do not like beer to drink. But I kind of like that yeasty smell it has. And all of that means it's got good B vitamins in it. So the bread actually comes out tasting I used to describe it as it's kind of like a soft saltine cracker. So it's a salty bread. And then this is also something I've never done. I've always put it in a bread pan, which is also going to affect the baking time. But what I'm going to do is set it up here. I say I'm setting it up there. It don't want to set up there. It wants to spread out. So we'll see what happens. That's what it looks like. So, next step, I'm going to have to look and find out how long the baking time is. And when it's all done, I'll come back and show you. I thought I'd show you what the inside of the oven looks like. And why I can't use a regular loaf pan. It's tiny. And it looks like it's only going to go to 350. So, there's that. Oh, it turned on again. So, you can't cook on here because the gas is right under there. And it burns the bottom. Found that out first time I cooked anything. And so it has to go up here on the top rack. Which also means it doesn't get as brown as I'd like. But, you know, it'll be okay. Because I'm just going to eat it. It ain't got to be pretty. Well, here's what I discovered. My oven never made it to 375. So it was about 350. So, maybe a little over. But I started it. I was supposed to cook for 50 to 55 minutes. And this is what it looks like after 35. See? Ta-di-da. And now I need to get a plate and cut it. So I wanted to show you the bottom. I have to be careful with my oven that I don't burn things. So still got a little bit of flour on there. And very solid. Very solid. And now I'm going to melt some butter on top. Because, you know, that's what you got to do. And I have always discovered that a fork works really well for melting butter on top of things. So, and see, it doesn't get very brown on top because it has to sit so close to the top of the oven. And I don't know how to fix that without burning the bottom. So, if anybody's got any ideas, feel free to let me know. Boy, I wish you could smell this. Yum. And I am so hungry. It's like my lunchtime. And I'd forgotten it takes so long. And the whole time I'm sitting here smelling it and just really wanting some. So, there's that. Now let's see what happens when you cut a slice. See, very crunchy on top. Oh my goodness, I hope it's done on the inside. This is my version of a slice. Let's see. Oh my goodness, look. Isn't that beautiful? I hope you can see that. It's all done. Whew. See how soft? It's Spongy, but very crunchy on the outside, especially the bottom crust. Hear me crunching? Yum. So, it's hard to slice hot bread, but you see the steam coming off? I don't know if you can or not. But of course, the other thing I've discovered is that putting it on the inside with a spoon. Oh, look, it ain't going to spread. The butter's too cold. And you know, I've had it sitting out. And it's still too cold. I guess I should put it on the oven. But a spoon works good. It's Shabbat. And I'm trying not to make too many dishes and too much effort here. So there we go. And there you have it. Beer bread 101. Was it too outrageous if I take and eat it in front of you? Yum. It's a yeasty bread. Very soft on the inside. Real crunchy on the outside. Yep. Be good with a nice pot of soup. Or stew or, you know. So, there you have it. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I will write out the recipe because it's very simple. And remember, you can add black olives and Parmesan and make a batch. And you can add dried tomatoes and basil. Makes another good one. Let's see, what else did I used to do? I guess you could make it sweet. Maybe. Or just put some honey on it. I love y'all.